Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So I am back with another best and worst cruise staterooms, and today we are talking about the up and coming Utopia of the Seas. Utopia of the Seas is the 6th ship in the Oasis class. She is due to be released in 2024. And Royal Caribbean, as I'm filming this, Royal Caribbean has been teasing, and there's supposed to be announcements coming up this week, but I'd already committed to kind of doing these intro outros of these videos. So some of this information that I might be talking about right now could be wrong by the time this video goes up, just disclosure. But I'm very excited about the Utopia of the Seas. Again, I love the Oasis class. We just sailed on Oasis in spring break back in March. You can watch our whole vlog. You can look at my cruising vlogs playlist. I have all my cruising vlogs. We were on the Oasis and Odyssey recently, and you know, we're set to set sail on the Icon next spring break. Very excited about that, but excited about the Utopia. Now, she's rumored to do 3 and 4 nights. Don't know how true that is. That is the rumor as of right now, which I think is very exciting because this is a very big ship. I think it's a very big ship to do a 3-night cruise. You're not going to get to do a lot. We did a 3-night cruise on the Symphony with our son, and it was a lot, but my son was only 3, but it was perfect for us because it was our first trial run with him, but it was great. But very excited about the Utopia of the Seas. So let's get into some of her facts. Okay, a little bit of facts about the Utopia of the Seas. She will be coming out in 2024. So rumor right now, as I'm recording this, is June of 2024 and 3 and 4 night cruises, but we don't know for sure. She is 236,857 tons. She will be 2,830 cabins with a crew of 2,394, with expected passengers of 5,645 to 6,509. Total decks 17, with 11 decks that have passengers. She is the 6th in the Oasis class, and personally, I'm excited. I love the Oasis class, and there's a brand new category on this ship. It is called the Solarium Suite. I think the original, it's going to be very similar to the I think it's the Ultimate Panoramic Suite on the Oasis, but that suite specifically was done during a refurb. The ship wasn't built with that suite, but this one is being built with this. So I think that's very interesting. So I'm curious to see what this suite is going to look like. It doesn't look like it's going to have a balcony, and personally, that's like would be my favorite suite because I'm not a huge balcony fan, especially with a child, even though he's older. Balconies just don't make me nervous. But yeah, we're gonna go through. So this is if this is your first time watching my video, I'm gonna go through the top category. I'm gonna go all the way down through from the Ultimate Family Suite down to the interior staterooms. I'm gonna go through each category. This video is not made to watch the entire video. This video is made, there will be timestamps below. You can click the category that you're interested in and watch that category. You can watch multiple categories, but it's not expected that you're going to watch the entire thing. It's a lot of screenshots. It could be very, very boring. With that said, I use the website cruisestateroom.com. This website is to use the pictures. You can use it for the deck plans, but to see the pictures that I'm looking for, there is a charge. However, if you don't want to pay, you can look up these videos and you can look up pictures on your own. Personally, I bought the lifetime membership and I have more than gotten my value's worth. So, but you know, to each his own. You can watch my videos, and if you don't want to pay the price, you can look for these videos on your own through YouTube, and then also look on cruise message boards. A lot of these pictures are also on cruise message boards, but you can click through. Again, also disclosure, I will repeat myself. If you watch several categories, I will probably say the same thing and repeat myself several times because my assumption is you didn't watch the category before. So I will probably say a couple times that we like being near Adventure Ocean. I will say that several times because, again, the assumption is you didn't watch the category before. So, you know, every once in a while somebody will say, you repeat yourself too much. I do. And there is a reason for that. But again, I'm trying to just kind of give you some options and some things to think about so that you can choose the best stateroom for you, your family and what your needs are. Now, if you're unsure what those needs are, I do have a video called the 10 things or something like that. It's going to be the 10 things that to consider when choosing your best cruise stateroom. I will post it up here and in the description box below. Kind of go through 10 things to think about when choosing your best cruise stateroom, and that can be applied to any cruise stateroom, whether it's Royal Caribbean, Disney Cruise Line, whatever. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with the best and worst cruise staterooms on the Utopia of the Seas. Okay, so we are going to start on cruisestateroom.com. Now, this is a paid membership website. It starts at $8.99 for 1 year. I actually have the unlimited because I have used it for years. The current unlimited price is, I think, $31. Totally worth it if you cruise a lot, but if not, the $9 is totally worth it. However, if you don't want to spend the money, you can absolutely try and find a lot of these pictures and information online. However, you're just going to spend a lot more time looking for it, where this website has a lot. We're going to go down to Utopia of the Seas here, and I am going to log in here. And we're just going to take a really quick look at each of the deck plans here. So there you see the Perfect Storm, all the slides. Here is the top of the suite deck. Here is another suite deck right here. You'll see Coastal Kitchen. This is deck 17. We'll go down to deck 16. You'll see, let's see here, the Aqua Dunes Flow Rider, Social 10, which is, I believe, the Teen Club, El Loco Fresh, the Arcade. This is deck 16. So you'll see the bridge right here. Then we'll go to deck 15, which is the main pool deck. You'll see the Solarium Bistro, Splashaway Bay, similar location as some of the other ones, the beach pool, the Lime and the Coconut, some other pools, and the Windjammer Playscape. Deck 14 is going to be where Adventure Ocean is, as well as Solarium. So Adventure Ocean, same area as it was before. And we'll go down, and then on deck 12, you'll see that Giovanni's Italian Kitchen is on deck 12, mostly a passenger deck at that point. But then also looks like Giovanni's Kitchen is 2 decks. So it's a decks 11 and 12. Deck 10 is another passenger deck, as is 9. 8, you will see, is a passenger deck, but also has the music hall. And then Central Park, that's Central Park right there. 7 is a passenger deck. 6 is also, you see the spa here. So you have the Vitality Spa, and you will see the top of the promenade where you have the picture gallery, excursion desk, loyalty desk, the Schirner Bar, and then the boardwalk. So this is going to be the Aqua Theater and the boardwalk. And then deck 5 is the main dining room, the top floor of the main dining room. And then you have the Cafe Promenade right here. And you'll have Starbucks, which is right next to the elevator, and the top of the Royal Theater, as well as the bottom floor of the spa. This you have to enter in on deck 6, and then you go down the stairs. If it's the same as the other cruise ships, I believe it is, you enter on deck 6 and then go down the stairs. Deck 4, Royal Theater again, the Attic Diamond Club, the Casino Royale non-smoking section. Then you've got Studio B, and it looks like you've got an actual, you can walk around it, which is nice. Then you've got the Casino Royale, it takes up the whole side. So I really like how that is set up. And then you have, let's see, this is the immersive dining experience. I did hear about this. This is like you're entering on a train. So that is going to be on deck 4. You have the main dining room, middle deck of the dining room. And then deck 3 is the bottom deck of the main dining room right here. So, Studio B is on deck 4 this time, which is a little different. So some changes as from some of the other Oasis Class, but a lot of similarities as well. Okay, so we are going to start with deck 18, which has a lot of the suites and definitely the two biggest suites on the ship. So they're going to have the ultimate family suite, which is one stateroom, sleeps up to 8, 1,134 square feet, 212 square feet. And then it's also going to have the Royal Loft Suite. It sleeps up to 6, and it's 1,524 square feet with an 843 square foot balcony. So it sleeps two people less, but it is larger. And then it also is going to have the Crown Loft Suite, which is L1. It sleeps up to 4. There's 8 of these staterooms, 545 square feet, 114 square feet balcony. And then it also is going to have the owner's suites, which these sleep up to 3, and there's 10 of them. So there are 556 square feet, and then the balcony is 243. So these are the ones that are going to be on deck 18. So I'm just going to point them out right here. You're going to have the ultimate family suite right here on the corner, and on the other side is going to be the Royal Loft Suite. So this is different from the other ships. And then you're also going to have the Loft Suites right here. I believe 18602 is a handicapped accessible, where the others are not. So this one might be a little bit larger to have that accessibility, but those are the 8. And then you'll have the 10 owner suites right here. Now it looks like the ones in the middle are going to have just a little bit of a larger balcony. No way to know for sure until the ship is released, but it does seem like 18210 and 18610 might have a little bit of a larger or deeper balcony. But honestly, I think all of these are going to be great. The ones that are going to be closer to the elevator are going to be obviously easier, but then the ones on this end are going to be closer to the suite sun deck. So I honestly think any of these are going to be fantastic, and you're going to have an amazing time, and you're probably not watching this video. Okay, and now we're going to move to deck 17, and this is where the Grand Suite 1-bedrooms are. They are all on deck 17, and that's the only stateroom that is on deck 17. So these are, again, the Grand Suite 1-bedroom category GS. They sleep up to 3. There's 28 of them. They are 371 square feet with a balcony of 105 square feet. Now, we're going to take a look at them here, and they do seem to be a couple that might be a little bit better. So you have this one right here, 17630, has like a corner balcony. That could be a really great balcony. I think that could be a really gorgeous one. And then you have these two over here, 17200 and 17600. They appear to possibly be a little larger. Now we won't know for sure until these are released, but they do seem to be a little bit larger according to the deck plan. And then you also have 17202 and 17602 could possibly have a deeper balcony. Again, we won't know for sure until it's released. These are also going to be very great because they're going to be very close to the elevators and the stairs, which I think will be very, very convenient. But then these over here are going to be closer to the suite lounge and coastal kitchen. So honestly, if I were lucky enough to be trying to get one of these staterooms, I would probably go for 17200 or 17600. Okay, next up we have the Solarium Suite, and this is a brand new category for the Utopia of the Seas. This is going to be like the ultimate panoramic suite on the Oasis of the Seas, which was a refurbished suite. This happened during a refurb. Well, this time they are building the suite out on this ship. So we don't know what it's going to look like, but I think it's going to be spectacular. Honestly, if I were to choose a stateroom, this would probably be, or a suite, this would be the one I would want to be in. There is no balcony. So if you are a balcony person, you're not going to, not like this one. However, we don't really care for a balcony. It is 14130 and 14530. Now these only sleep up to 2. The ones on the Oasis, I believe, sleep up to 3. So these only sleep up to 2. But again, these are, I think they're spectacular. So right next to the Solarium, and these are called the Solarium Suite. Okay, now we're going to go to the Aqua Theater Suites. So we're going to start with the 2 bedrooms. There's 6 of them. There is a category A1, which are the ones on deck 8, and then A2, which are the ones on deck 9 and deck 10. Now, these sleep up to 8, and again, there's 6 of them. And now this is stats according to some of the other staterooms, but it looks to be that they're going to be the same square footage. The deck 8 is going to be 823 square feet with a 772 square foot balcony. Deck 9 is 739 square feet with a 695 square foot balcony. And then deck 10 is 673 square feet with a 610 square foot balcony. So obviously A1 is going to be a higher category, so that will be bigger. However, if for the A2 category, 9 and 10 are going to be the same price, they're the same category. So if deck 9 is available, get deck 9 because it is going to be bigger. So let's just take a look at them really quick. So here is deck 8 right here, and then we'll go up to deck 9. So that is deck 9 right there. And then we'll go up to deck 10. So deck 10 is going to be a little bit smaller. I still think it's going to be an amazing suite. People that have these suites, love them. They're one of the first to book on any of the Oasis Class. So I think you can't go wrong with any of them. But if you had your choice between decks 9 and 10, I would go for deck 9. Okay, next up is the Aqua Theater Suite 1 bedroom. This is category A3. These sleep up to 4. There's 6 of these staterooms, and we'll take a look there on decks 11, 12, and 14. And deck 11, there's 609 square feet. 626 square foot balcony. Deck 12 is 562 square feet with a 589 square foot balcony. And then deck 14 is 604 square feet with a 631 square foot balcony. So 11 and 14 are very comparable. You're going to have 2 square feet, which you're not even going to feel, and 5 square feet on the balcony. Deck 12 is considerably smaller. So will you feel it? I don't know. I've never been in one of these suites, but my preference would be for deck 11, then deck 14, and then deck 12. But as I stated before, I don't think you can go wrong with any of one of these. You can definitely see pictures. This was deck 11. Here is deck 12. And I think you could probably see videos and pictures from and it's going to be comparable for the other Oasis class ship. So again, I would go for deck 11 first, then deck 14, and then after that, deck 12. Okay, and now we're on to the Junior Suite. So the Junior Suites has a new category. I don't think this was on the Wonder. I could be wrong. And that is the JY category. This is called a Junior Sky or a Sky Junior Suite. There's only 8 of them, and these are junior suites that are 301 square feet plus a 122 square foot balcony. Plus, they feature Sky Class perks. So the regular junior suites are what is called C Class, but the Sky Junior Suites are have the Sky perks. So we're going to start, and they are only on deck 6, which I think is a great location. I love deck 6, and I'll tell you why. Because deck 6, you can walk out. You're very midship. You're going to have this extra large balcony over here, and then you could walk this way, and you could go down one flight here, and the Starbucks was right here. You're right next to the spa, so you're on the same deck as the spa here. Just walk down the hall. If you have kids, you would just walk down the hall, go up to deck 14 to get to the Adventure Ocean. Then you could go down this side right here. You'd be very close to the boardwalk, or if you just wanted to go to the promenade, you could walk this way too and go right down these stairs and never have to take an elevator. So I love deck 6. Personally, I like deck 14 first, but then deck 6 is a second favorite. So I think any of these are great. Honestly, I would probably go for 6240 or 6640 just because it's in the middle of the hump. Some people like the hump here because you can see, a little bit more. You have a flat view, and then you have the angle view, but then some people don't like that because, you can see into other people's balconies. I don't see the problem with that, but everybody's different. These 4 at the top here sleep 5, and then the 4 at the bottom sleep 4. So that is the Sky Junior Suite. Then we're going to go up to deck 7, and we're just going to look at the regular junior suites. This is category J3 and J4. Now they sleep up to 4. There are 287 square feet with an 80 square foot balcony. So we're going to look at them right here. They are the dark purple. And you'll see some of them are in the same location as deck 6. So you have that, hump balcony right here. Now, again, you'll see the ones right here with this little square. That means it sleeps 5. And then the ones with the asterisk sleep 4. So I think any of these would be great. Just depends on whether you want to be more forward or more aft. With these, I would probably pick to be a little bit more aft just to be closer to an elevator. I do like being closer to an elevator. Deck 8, let's see here. Same thing here. I would probably pick 8248 or 8648 to be closer to the elevator, but again, can't go wrong with any of these. Deck 9, same thing here. Now the ones right here, 36 and to 42 are going to have the larger balcony. Deck 10, same thing. So 10, 236 and 10, 636 are going to have a larger balcony. And then you have these two right here, 10, 252, 252, 654, 254, 656. These, even though they're going to have a smaller balcony, I think these are a better location on deck 10 because you're going to be closer to the elevator and closer to the staircase personally. So, to each his own. Deck 11. So deck 11, you have here you have the larger balcony. So this I think would be 248, 244, 644, 648. You're going to have the larger balcony and be closer to the elevator. Moving up to deck 12. Same thing on deck 12. And then deck 14. So deck 14, the same. Now deck 14, I think you could go, now you'll see there's only 2 with the asterisk. That means the other ones only sleep 2. So we would have to go with either 240 or 640. If I were to pick a regular junior suite, these were the 2 that I would pick. I would try and get, mainly because 1, they'd be close to the elevator here. And then they're on the same deck as Adventure Ocean. And I've talked about that being on the same deck as Adventure Ocean is our preference for any ship that we're on, just being on the same deck as the Kids Club. And then if we look, there's deck 14, we go up, deck 15, we go up 1 flight, we're at the Windjammer, we're at the pool. Very convenient. So if I were doing a junior suite, a regular junior suite, I would try to get 240 or 640 because those are the ones that would sleep our family and would have the best access for us. But again, everybody's different. Okay, we're moving on to the balcony categories now, and we're moving to the family balcony. This is category 1A. These sleep up to 6, and there's only 5 of them. These are 271 square feet with an 82 square foot balcony. I love these. These have the bunk beds. Now, we stayed in one on the Freedom, and it was an interior, but it was fantastic. And I will tell you that bunk bed was very comfortable. It is a great alternative if you have a larger family. Now, you're going to have only 1 bathroom, as opposed to if you did 2 regular balconies, but you're going to have a lot of space within this balcony. So they are right here. So they are right here on deck 11. They're right at the forward part of the ship, right near the elevator. They are 11158 to 11172. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. If I were to choose one, I would choose 11166 because it's smack dab in the middle, and it's the closest to the elevators and the stairs. But the other ones are so close, it's really not going to make a difference. Very convenient. Obviously, if you're sleeping in this category, you probably have kids, and you just need to go up 2 decks because there's no deck 13, and you're at Adventure Ocean. So very, very convenient for this category. I love this category if I can ever afford it. Usually this is on the Oasis Class ships. These staterooms tend to be as much as a junior suite, if not more. So we have not booked these on the Oasis Class, but I always try to royal up. We haven't gotten one, but I think these are fantastic if you can afford them. Now we're going to move on to the internal balconies, and the first is going to be the Central Park balconies. This is category 1J, 2J. They are on decks 10, 11, 12, and 14. So we're going to start on deck 10 here. Obviously, these overlook Central Park. So you'll see deck 10. And I think a lot of this is going to depend on whether or not which area you want to be close to. Do you want to be near the aft of the ship, or do you want to be near the forward part of the ship? Personally, we would want to be toward the forward part of the ship because we would want to be near Adventure Ocean, deck 14, right here. That's where we would want to be. Also, if you were doing the Solarium or the Rainforest Pass, you would want to be close to the spa, which is also forward. So that's where we would want to be. However, if you want to be near the Windjammer, you would want to be towards the aft, basically all the food. If you want to be near all the food, it's going to be on the aft elevator. So it really just depends on you, but we'll just kind of take a look. So this is the Central Park. Now on the other Oasis class ships, there is a balcony, I believe it's 229, 629, that are larger. They're basically double wide, not the room, but just the balcony. I don't know if that's going to be the case on this ship. We won't know until she's released. But you can go back and watch one of those videos for Central Park balconies, and I talk about it. I want to say it's 229 and 629, but I could be wrong. We don't know, but you could book it and try and just maybe hope for a larger balcony. And then we get 11. So here we have deck 11. They're pretty much the same. You're not going to see too much of a difference. Deck 12, the same thing. Here. And then obviously if you have these are interior. So if you want to do a connecting stateroom, maybe you are a larger family, you want to do a connecting, you could do a Central Park balcony with an interior stateroom, and these are connecting. And then deck 14. So if we were to do a Central Park balcony, we would probably do, let's say 14577. This is one that sleeps a quad. This is a one, you see the asterisk, that means sleeps 4. And it's the same deck. We would literally be right next to Adventure Ocean. So we would try to get 14577, 14581, 14179. Any one of those would be the ones we would just try and get as close as possible. And you would be right next to Adventure Ocean. That's where we would want to be. However, again, you have a lot of options within the Central Park balcony. Okay, next we're going to move to the Boardwalk balcony category. This is category 1I, 2I. They are on decks 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14. Pretty much the same. They're going to be the same setup as the other staterooms with balconies, but 182 square feet with a 52 square foot balcony. They are just going to overlook the boardwalk. So we had a boardwalk once. I didn't love it, but however, that was also before a son. I think maybe with my son, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more, but I think it's just a personal preference. I do know people that love it. We're going to start on deck 8 here. So deck 8, the only thing I would say is if you are here, 8329, 8729, you're going to have an amazing view of the Aqua Theater. Great. However, the rest of the week, or not even, these are the 3 and 4 night cruises, you're going to have a long walk. Now for 3 and 4 night cruises, it's not going to be that long of a walk, but you could, it's not that bad of a walk, but, just keep in mind, it's better than if it was a week, but you are going to have a walk. But that is deck 8. I would probably prefer to be maybe not all the way here, but maybe here you would still get a good view of the Aqua Theater, but you wouldn't have a long walk every night. You definitely want to watch the Aqua show from the actual theater, not just necessarily from your balcony. Then we're going to go to deck 9, same thing here. So not much difference, but you'll see the ones with the asterisks are the ones that are going to sleep 4, and the ones without are the ones that are going to sleep 2. Deck 9, here's deck 10 here. So not much difference. Deck 11, right here. Now this is going to be the bottom of Giovanni's kitchen. So it's right near Giovanni's kitchen. And then we're going to go to deck 12. Again, this is the top floor of Giovanni's kitchen. And then you have deck 14. Now remember, you're going to have a great view of the the zip line going down across. Now this one for 14,295, that looks to be a handicapped accessible stateroom. I can't see for sure if that's an asterisk or not. It looks like these are all handicapped accessible because they do look to be extra wide. So I believe that's what these are, the handicapped accessible. Because that's the handicapped accessible, and that is the asterisk. This is really small print for me. But again, I think these are great options. I would just prefer to be closer to the elevator, not so necessarily because I just wouldn't want to walk that far. And then deck 14 is obviously great, as I've talked about before, because you'll be on the same deck as Adventure Ocean. However, if I were choosing a Boardwalk Balcony, I probably would want to be on deck 8. I'd probably want to be lower just to be a little bit closer to the action. And then I would be maybe, let's say 8299 right here, and then really close to Central Park. And I just think I would like it more on deck 8. Okay, now we're going to move on to the balcony categories. So there's several different. There is the Spacious Balcony, which is the 1C, 2C category. And then you have the regular balconies, which are 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, and then CB, which is a connecting balcony. Now, a connecting balcony doesn't necessarily mean that's the only connecting balconies. As you can see right here, there are other balconies that do connect, but that is a special category. So if you need a connecting balcony, that's where I suggest you absolutely need to get a travel agent. Now, I do recommend getting a travel agent anytime you book a cruise, but especially if you need something like multiple cabins connecting, you definitely need a travel agent. I am just going to go deck by deck. We're going to go look. Well, we'll first start with the Spacious. We'll start with the Spacious, and then we'll cover the rest of the balcony. So Spacious are on 6, 7, 8, and then 10, 11, 12, and 14. The Spacious tend to be in the middle near the hump. So you'll see the hump right here, and these are the ones in pink. So on deck 6, now I think deck 6 is a great deck. It is my second favorite deck on the Oasis Class ship, next to 14. So I think these are great. Obviously, I don't like to pay for a larger balcony, but everybody's different. Personally, it's not for me. But I would just, if you're going to pay for an extra balcony, you want to make sure you get not like the ones that have the slant. I personally would just want the one with the full balcony. And then personally, I would just try and get to, let's say 6194, 6594, because you're going to be a little bit closer to the forward part of the ship, which is going to be near Adventure Ocean. That's just me. Deck 7, same thing, pretty much the same type. Now, a lot of these, you can see only 2 of them have asterisks, which means only 2 of them sleep 4. The rest only sleep 2. Going up to deck 8. Here we go. Again, these are all on the hump, and you'll just see there's a couple with asterisks. Every other one has an asterisk. So if you are multiple families, or multiple people in your family, those are the ones you can qualify for. It's also good to know if you're going to royal up what the options are as far as how many staterooms can accommodate, if you are 3 and 4. Deck 9. There's actually no on deck 9. So we're going to move to deck 10. And you'll see again, they're on the hump here. Now these are a little bit further back. So, and then here are some here. So they're on both humps on deck 10. So you can see here, I think I would probably prefer to be a little bit forward again, because we like to be closer to Adventure Ocean. So I would try and get 10,196, 10,594. However, if you want to be closer to like the Windjammer, then you would want to get the ones over on this side. Deck 11, moving on to deck 11. Now deck 11, they're only on the forward part of the hump. So same thing applies. Moving up to deck 12. Same thing here. There's only on the forward portion. So I would try not to get the slant of the hump. And then deck 14. Now deck 14, again, as I've said before, this would be where we would want to be, because we would want to be on the same deck as Adventure Ocean. We would probably try and get 14,594 would be our first choice. It sleeps 4, and it doesn't have that slanted balcony. Though I wouldn't
necessarily. I think if it was between 14,204 and 14,192, I would go for that one because it's just going to be a little bit closer to Adventure Ocean. But again, I think all of these are great staterooms. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the rest of the balcony staterooms. And you're going to see that the 1D, 2D are going to have better locations, more central locations than the 3D, 4D. The lower the number, ideally it's the better the location. So the 3D, 4D are going to have a less desirable location, which also means they're probably going to be a little cheaper. Whereas the CB could be also more expensive because you're paying for that connected balcony as well. So I'm just going to go through deck by deck and give you some ideas. There really are no special cabins. There may be some where you see the hump, like 6190, 6590, where you're going to get that little beginning portion of the hump. So you're going to get a little bit extra of a balcony without actually having to pay for it. So I think that's great. Now, here are some things to consider. So which deck do you want to be on? Do you want to be near the spa, deck 6, near the boardwalk, deck 6 again? Do you want to be near the Central Park, right here? And then, or are you going to be near Adventure Ocean over on deck 14? Those are all things. Do you want to, to consider where do you want to be? Or do you want to be between two passenger decks? Are you concerned about noise? If you're concerned about noise, then be between two passenger decks. Very, very important. Another thing about deck 6 is if you are in the forward portion and you like your Starbucks coffee in the morning, you can just go down the stairs. If you're right here, you can go down, walk down the stairs, and there is Starbucks. Very, very convenient. So probably this would be a great location for me because I like my Starbucks in the morning. But anyway, so we're going to start with deck 6 again. So couple things again to consider. These staterooms right here, not ideal because you're going to have a long walk. This is going to be a long walk every time you got to go somewhere. You're just going to be a long walk everywhere and you're not really getting any benefit out of it. You're not getting a larger stateroom. You're not getting a larger balcony, but you just have that long walk. Not bad. And again, for a 3 and 4 night cruise, it's not going to be terrible, but again, not ideal. So that is deck 6. So I would try and not get past, honestly, I would probably try not to get past 6150 and 6550. Anywhere midship is going to be great because it's going to be equal distance. But personally, as I've stated before, I do like being near an elevator and a staircase. I would rather be at 6162 than 6198. Even this one has a larger balcony. This one is super convenient. It's right next to the elevator and staircase. I don't have to walk to get to a staircase. If you're going to, let's say, the middle of the promenade here, you got to walk out here to walk this way. Where here, you just have to walk here. So that's just me, but we always like to be near an elevator. A lot of people do prefer to be midship. So again, you have the 3D, 4D here, 1D, 2D. Now going back again, here's the midship. So here we have the aft part. Now these are also really great because I think being near the back of the boardwalk is my son loved the boardwalk when we were recently on the Oasis. He loved being on the boardwalk. So this is also a great portion of the ship. So you could literally walk out here. You have the staircase right to the promenade. You could walk out. You could go to the boardwalk right here, or you could walk through, go down the stairs, and then be on the promenade. So deck 6 is a really fantastic deck. Again, I would just personally choose to be close to the elevator or staircase. And again, being 6328, 6728, you're all the way out here, but you're not getting a view of the Aqua show. You're not getting a view of anything. You're getting a view of the ocean, which is fantastic, but you're going to have a long walk to the elevator every time you want to go somewhere. So I would, again, try not to get past 6296, 6696 if you can help it. If you are doing a guarantee and you get assigned one of these staterooms, it's not the end of the world. just going to end up walking a little bit more. Let's go up to deck 7, and it's pretty much going to be the same for every deck. So we'll start at the front, same thing. Now it starts a little bit further back because you have the Oceanview category here. So same thing. I would probably try and not go past 7146 and 7548 if you can help it. And then going back here, again, you're probably going to go to 7296 to 7696. Going up to deck 8. Deck 8 is another great deck because you have the music hall and then you have Central Park. Again, try not to go past 8296 and 8696. And then you have forward. And again, probably try not to go past 8144 and 8546. But a really great deck. 8 is also a really great deck. Deck 9, very quiet deck. Again, another deck that's between 2 passenger decks. So you have mostly here, again, trying 9144, 9544. Try not to go past that if you can help it. And then you have, I would say, 9310, 9710 is kind of ideally, not too far from the elevator. Deck 10. Deck 10 is another quiet deck. It is a passenger deck. You're going to be right here. So again, I would avoid anything past 1094, 1060, 694. It's going to be pretty far walk. And the same thing goes up forward. I would say 10144 and 10544. Deck 11. Deck 11. Now here we have a little bit more. So you have, these are the spacious ones we just went over. So again, I would probably not to try past 11150, 11550. You're going to have a lot of options here. And then again, now here I'd probably say 11304, 11704. Deck 12. Deck 12, again, same thing. 11308, 11708. I'm kind of looking middle portion. You'll see here. And now these aren't too far forward. So if you ended up like a 12136 and 12536, it's not the end of the world because it's not, you can see the walk isn't as much as some of the other decks because it's just a shorter distance. I still would try to say stay closer to this side, but if you ended up in 12136, it's not the end of the world. And then finally, deck 14. So deck 14, again, this is my choice of a deck because it's the same deck as Adventure Ocean. So very convenient. I would probably, if I had to try and get this one, I would try and get 14160 or 14558. Those would sleep our number of family. And you're not paying for the category. So it would be 3D, 4D. So it would be one of the cheaper categories, super close to Adventure Ocean, right near the elevator. That would be our ideal location. Going further back again. So again, I would try and say not to pass 14296 and 14696. So there's a lot of choices. We typically will do a guarantee because we can save a lot of money. So while I am telling you this is where we would choose, I will also say if it's a choice of choosing our stateroom or saving $1,000, we will save the money every single time. So I don't mind if I end up at 14,332 if I've saved $1,000. So to each his own. Okay, and now we're going to the Oceanview staterooms. These are the staterooms and everything below do not have balconies. And we're going to start with the ultra spacious Oceanview. This would also be considered the family Oceanview. This is category 1K. These sleep up to 6. These are the ones with the bunk beds, and there's 8 of them. They are 271 square feet, and they are all on deck 11, and they are all the way forward. So there are no pictures. We don't know what these are going to look like. However, on the other Oasis Class ships, the ones that are these, the 11124 and 11524, are the ones that are, I think, the best in this category. These are all not created equal. And if you go and watch videos, and you can click on the other ship formats for these, and there's videos and there's pictures. The ones in these two locations are significantly better than the rest. Now, it doesn't mean that these aren't great. I think every single one of these I would book in a heartbeat, but the two right here in the corner are the best. These also tend to be really good. They're a little bit longer, but they have a really good, and they do have a little bit of extra room. You're going to have probably a slant here if I remember correctly, but you'll also have a really cool view of the ship because you will be facing forward. So you kind of get to see where you're going. So that's always a fun thing for the kids. And then the other great thing about these four right here is that they're going to be just a little bit closer to the elevator. Now, these are going to be a walk. They're going to be a walk, but you're going to have this extra space. It's going to be fantastic. So if I were choosing to book one of these Oceanview, I would go for 11,124 or 11,524 first. Then probably I would go for 11,100 or 11,500. And then after that, I would go for 11,134 or 11,534. And then 11,132 or 11,532. That's kind of my order of preference. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to the Central Park view. So these are 2S. They sleep up to 3. There's 70 of them. And these are 199 square feet. So these are actually have a little bit more square footage than the Oceanview and regular Boardwalk and Central Park balcony, because there's kind of like this little, you can kind of see this little like ledge here where you can like sit and watch. It's kind of like a day bed or, window seat. And everybody that I know that have had this stateroom love it. It does have a little bit of extra room. And if you are a family of 3, you're probably going to feel it. You feel every square foot. So I think these are a really great option if you have a family of 3. But I think they're just a really great option. You're not going to have a balcony. Personally, I would not miss it, especially on a 3 or 4 night cruise. So here you have it. They're all on deck 9. You're going to start with 9177. You do have an option. So if you had a interior and you wanted to do a connecting, you have that option right here. So you could do a family of 6 right here between those two different types of connecting. And then you go all the way down. Now, obviously here, I mentioned before, we would want to be probably 9577. That would be one that sleeps our family, and we would be close to the elevator and staircase and the same area as Adventure Ocean, which is on deck 14. So we could just go up the flights of stairs or take the elevator. We'd probably take the elevator. But then if those, let's say the first up to like 89s were not available, but these were, then I would go for this side. I'd rather be closer to the elevator here than in the middle. So I would probably rather be on either side just because I'd rather be closer to an elevator. But I think any of these are going to be fantastic. It's just a matter of where do you want to be, and do you not care about being close to an elevator, but you want to be more, kind of have a really great view of Central Park, then maybe be more central. Next, we're going to the regular Oceanview category. We have the 1N, 2N, 3N, 4N. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the lower the number, usually the more expensive and the better location, more central location. So we'll see here. You'll see they start on deck 3. So we're going to just do the 1N and 2N first, and then we'll go back and do the 3N and 4N. So the 1 and 2N are on decks 3, 7, and 11, and they are 179 square feet. So deck 3, it's pretty much just central, right? You're just going to be between the 2 elevator banks. Here, again, I would probably try and be closer to this side. I'm going to be closer to the elevator. But here even, you might be even better off on this side because here you still have kind of a walk to the elevator and the staircase. So you'd be very close if you were on this side. But I think any of these are going to be very, very central. If you're concerned about being seasick, maybe being on a lower deck would be great. You'd also be on the same deck as the main dining room. So next we're going to go up to deck 7. So deck 7, these are interesting because these are going to be, actually, they're considered Oceanview, but they're also boardwalk view. So I don't know why these are considered ocean view. I guess because you can see the ocean from here. I believe they were different category on the other ships, the other Oasis class ships, but here it looks like they're going to be classified as ocean view. So it is these 8 staterooms right here. Now, honestly, I would not recommend these because you're not going to necessarily get the benefit of overlooking the boardwalk, overlooking the ocean, and you're going to have a very long walk. So these might seem good on paper. And I could be wrong. I just don't think I would like this stateroom, especially like 7325, 7725. It's a very long walk. You're going to be inside. You're not going to be like, if you're on the balcony, you could watch the aqua show, but from your window, it's a little bit different. So I honestly would say skip these. I'd rather be on deck 3 than to be on deck 7 overlooking the boardwalk. Personally, again, I could be, you may disagree with me. So if you've had that type of stateroom and you liked it, leave it in the comments below. Now we're going to go up to deck 11, and I believe these are all the way forward. And let's see here. Yes, there's only 2 of them. They're right here. So there's only 2 of them here. They sleep up to 4, and I think they're going to be fine. There's no pictures. I think they'll just be regular ocean view staterooms on deck 11. Okay, next up is the categories 3N, 4N, and these are on decks 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. These are all forward, so they're all very forward. Now, the ones in the front tend to have more room because you have a slant. And there's no pictures, the ship's not built yet, but I do encourage you to go back to other ships and take a look at what pictures they have, because there will be a slant and these will be a little bit larger. So I'm not going to estimate which ones may be larger because we just won't know, but I would say it probably similar to that of the Wonder Harmony or Symphony. Personally, I would probably still choose to be 7126 or 7528 just to be a little bit more central. Then we're going to move to deck 8. You have these here. So some of these, now it's usually the ones in the middle tend to be a little bit larger because they're just a little bit longer. So that is a great benefit as well. But again, you have these other ones here. So these are going to be a little bit more central. Deck 9. Deck 9, again, here, these are all great. It just depends on, what's more important. Do you have a little bit extra space or just being a little bit more central? Deck 10, again, here. So it's hard to say without any pictures, but I would probably, if I was trying to get in the front, I would probably try and get one of the middle ones. Deck 11, and deck 11 is the last one. So deck 11 is the last one. I would probably try and get, again, the middle ones are going to be the ultra spacious, so you're not going to have that option. And then you have these 2 on the side here. So I think you can't go wrong. Honestly, if I were going with an ocean view and a true ocean view, I would probably choose deck 3. I think deck 3, you're going to have a great stateroom. You're going to have a very central location. Being all the way forward, I don't know. Even for the extra space for a 3 and 4 night cruise, I don't think it's worth it. I would probably choose deck 3 if it were me. Okay, and now we have moved on to the last categories, which are the interior. So these don't have a porthole. There's just no sunlight. These are interior, but they're great. They're great options, and you'll still be on a ship. So we're going to start with the family interior. This is category 1R. This could also be considered the ultra spacious interior. These sleep up to 6. These are the ones with the bunk bed. You can see right here, they have the bunk beds, and they are 260 square feet. Just like the other ones, they're all on deck 11. They are forward, so you can see here. So here are the balcony ones. Here are the ocean view ones, and then the interior ones are these right here, these light green ones right here. So I would say I would just be close. I think they're all going to be very equal. I would try and go with 11, 149, then 147, then 139, and then 137, mainly just for location to the and proximity to the elevator and staircase. These are going to be fantastic. Again, these tend to be very expensive, but if they're at a good price and not too much more than what you can afford, it's worth the space. Okay, next up we have the Promenade View interior. I love this category. There's not a lot on the Oasis Class ships. They're only on deck 7, and this is category 2T. They are 194 square feet. So just like the ones, it has this little window seat, just like the ones in the Central Park interior or Central Park view. Really nice. It's a really great interior cabin, but you do get a view. And we had this one time on the Freedom, and we actually really liked it. So this is deck 7, and there's not a lot of them. I would just say try and get closer to this side here, because this is just going to be just closer to the elevator and staircase. These over here would be very, very central. It's not going to be close to an elevator, but it's going to be very midship. So personally, I just would try and go towards the 185 or 587, but I think any of these would be a great option. And finally, we are at the interior stateroom category. There's several different ones in this category. So you have the 4U, which is the interior virtual. Then you have the 1V, 2V, 3V, 4V, which are just the regular interiors, and then the connecting interior. And again, just like I said before, connecting doesn't mean that those are the only ones that are connecting, but it's just that it's classified as such. So again, the U is the one with virtual. I don't know why don't they make the V virtual, but it's the 4U is the one that's virtual. And these are essentially on every deck. So we're just going to go through every deck that there is and just kind of look at every deck. So right here, the interiors are the, it says 1V, 2V, but it looks like they are 3V, 4V. So I'm not sure which categories these are. These could be just mismarked here, but there's just 3 right here. Very central location. I think this could be good if you have maybe an ocean view and you want to have some kids across. These seem to be, on the smaller side. Now these are 172 square feet, but just very central, nothing to write home about. Now we're going to go up to deck 6. So deck 6. So we'll start all the way at the forward. So just like I talked about, so a lot of these are going to depend on location. Now, if you want the virtual, then, find the location that has the virtual. But I think a lot will be just, if you're doing an interior, I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is to get the best location for yourself. So here's all the way forward. This is going to be deck 6. You have the grayish blue, which is the 4U. Those are the interiors. The interior virtual. So you have some handicapped accessible as well. And these are right next to the entrance of the spa. So the entrance of the spa would be here, and you would just go over this way. Very convenient for the spa. And then you would be, just one deck from the promenade. So here you have some more interior here. These are going to be very central, but again, no view. You're not going to have a view here. Now, these seem to be interesting because these seem to be shaped differently. So they don't look to be smaller, but they seem to be square shaped. Honestly, I think these would be ideal. I would probably try and go for 66-43. Now, these all look to only sleep 2 people. The only ones with the asterisks are the ones that are handicapped accessible. But the square shape just tends to be it feels a little bit more airy. I just like the way it's laid out more. I could be completely wrong once the ship is released, but if it was just me and my husband and we got an interior stateroom, I would try and go for 66-43. So we'll go down a little bit more, and there's some interiors right here, 3V, 4V, and these look to be doubles. I think these are great locations as well. Again, interior, but you're pretty close to the elevator, and you would literally just walk out and you could be at the boardwalk. So very convenient. We'll move up to deck 7. This is going to be a passenger deck. So I would probably try to avoid the ones up here because they're just going to be really, really far in the corner for no benefit. If you're going to be on deck 7, I would still try and be closer to this side. Now, if you want the virtual balcony, you probably need to go over here. But again, I would just try and avoid all the way forward. I would just try and go over on this side. These are the ones we talked about earlier, but then these blue ones are not, they're just regular interiors. So you could go for those. That's going to be very, very central. Moving back here, again, these are also really great location because they're right next to the elevator and staircase. I think these are fantastic location. Deck 8. So deck 8, we'll start at the front again. Again, I would avoid the ones up here if you can. And if you want a virtual balcony, then you could try and maybe go for, I would say 8426. These are probably good because you'd have to walk around and then go over here. So I would maybe 8426 if you really wanted a virtual. But honestly, I would still try and go down here. Now these all look to sleep only 2. We'll go down and we have a couple right here. Now, again, these are a really great location. You're really close to the music hall. You're not going to hear anything, I don't think. So I don't think you'd have any problem with noise, but you just really central location. And then you literally could walk out and be at Central Park. Really nice. Very, very nice. So I think that is a great location. Really great for an interior stateroom. Deck 9. We'll start at the front again. Again, trying to avoid, there's only one right here, 9116. I would try and avoid that one. I don't think that would be ideal. A virtual good one would be 9468. Really great. That I think is probably one of the better virtual balconies because you're right near the elevator and you're just right there. And then obviously I think, these are okay. I would just try and stay, as close to the elevator and staircase as possible. Then you have those ones right here, 9175, 9575, really great, close to elevator and staircase. And again, just like the other ones, I think these are fantastic. Those are just really great locations, just probably the cheapest staterooms on the ship. Deck 10, starting forward. Now there's none in the corners here, so you don't have to worry about that. These, I would still try to avoid the ones up here. If you're going to now 10471, I mean, that's an amazing location. I wouldn't really be concerned about noise either, even though it looks like it's very close to the elevator and staircase. I don't think that's going to be a problem with noise, but I mean, you can't I think that's a really great location for an interior stateroom. We'll move down. Again, you have 2 right here, another great location. Now with these, this is actually going to be closer to the elevator because you would literally just walk out and there it is. Here, you would have to walk and go here. You're not going to go that way. So you're going to go around and around. So this is actually a better stateroom. And even these over here are probably better as well. We'll move down. And again, same right here. Same thing goes with those 8. Very great location. Deck 11. We'll start at the top. Same thing. Now this is probably the best virtual I've seen. 11451. It's probably the best virtual location, just right next to the elevator. These also are great. Again, try to avoid all the way back here. These are also good. 11175, 11575, really great. Close to the elevator. And again, these 8 right here, also wonderful. Deck 12. And we'll go forward now. Not as many options up here. Again, I would not try and get all the way up here. But these are some virtual ones. Really great location right here. And then moving back, these are also good and right next to Giovanni's kitchen. And then deck 14. So deck 14 will go all the way forward. Now, these are interesting because these are kind of in the back here. So you have Adventure Ocean, but then you have, so here. So I'm kind of curious because it looks like, I don't know where the Solarium entrance is, because this is the Solarium Suites. So I'm kind of curious if there's going to be an entrance to the solarium here, what this is, or if everything is, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the entrance would be here. But these I think are interesting. I think these are great, honestly. And if you're going to have kids in Adventure Ocean, now these don't look to have to sleep more than 2. So you're not going to have much, you're probably not going to have kids. But I'm curious about these. However, this I think is a great location right here, 14175. It sleeps up to 4. It's a virtual interior, and it's right at the entrance of Adventure Ocean. So really great interior stateroom there. And then you have 14227 and 14627. Their interior near the Central Park balcony staterooms. And then you've got a lot right here. So these are also really great central locations right next to elevators. So I think any of these would be really great as well. So there you have it. Those are my best and worst staterooms on the Utopia of the Seas.
And there you have it. Those are the best and worst cruise staterooms on the Utopia of the Seas. And as I always say, is that the worst stateroom on a cruise ship is still better than any room at home, because you're on a cruise and you're on vacation. So take this advice and try and get your best stateroom. But also, if you are booking a guarantee, this is very helpful to know where your stateroom could be and what the worst staterooms in those categories are. So maybe decide not to do a guarantee. We don't mind guarantees. We know the risk, and we have been very, very lucky with our guarantees. But also when doing a royal up, when you're doing a royal up, know what you're bidding on. Know the categories. Know that a spacious balcony probably means a larger balcony, not necessarily a spacious stateroom. It could, but it may not. So those, these videos can also help you know the different categories within each different ship. So also know that if you are trying to upgrade from an Oceanview to a balcony, you could end up with a great, you had a great location for an Oceanview. You upgrade to a balcony and you end up in the back of the ship with an obstructed view. You just never know what you could end up with when you do a royal up. So that's also a good thing to use these videos for, is to know what are the best and worst staterooms in each category if you are doing a guarantee or a royal up. So now if you end up sailing on the Utopia of the Seas, and you have, after this video, it's probably been up for at least a year, post a comment in the comments below. Let us know what stateroom you booked, what stateroom you sailed on, what you think of the ship, any comments, because these comments definitely do help others book, definitely in, different ships, different cruises, and these comments definitely help others choose their staterooms in the future. And also, I'm curious, are you going to be going on the Utopia of the Seas? And, and then I'm also curious, are you going to be going on the Utopia of the Seas? Are you booking? And what itinerary, when you sailing? And just give us all the information down in the comments below. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.